Hi, my name is Amy Kim, and I am a college counselor by day, a yoga teacher, as well as a content creator, and I love food.
Cool. I'm just gonna dive right into the questions then,
Yeah.
and we'll figure it out from there.
Yeah.
When you think of yin and yang in your own journey, what are the two sides that define you, and how do those two sides work together?
Absolutely. So when I think of yin and yang on my journey,
There's a fly.
yeah, there's a fly. Sorry.
Okay, go on.
Yeah. When I think of yin and yang in my journey, I definitely see how my yoga practice is really where the yin aspect comes through, when I really take a pause, take time to breathe and turn inwards, as well as when I'm journaling in the morning. That's really one facet of who I am. And the yang really comes through when I'm making content, when I have to be out and about, moving around, exploring new places, traveling. So I really enjoy having these two facets of who I am. I think growing up I used to think that I had to pick between the two. You know, you're kind of told you're either one or the other, but I feel like both are absolutely crucial for in my, I guess, like life and in my development as a person, because you need stillness in my eyes, like to be creative, to move, right? You have to have that as kind of as balance. And in order to continue moving and be creative and be active, you also need stillness. So I think in that aspect, that's kind of how it manifests in my life.
Can we just check the audio? So you said you moved to Mumbai, and Mumbai is a lot about the hustle and bustle of the city. So what helps you carve out moments of calm within that constant motion?
Absolutely. So I would say that, you know, in a city like Bombay, it really never stays. It's constant. You're constantly like, I don't know, on your phone. There's always something happening. So it's really important for you to create moments of calm and peace, right? Whatever it is. For me, it's in my morning routine, so that's like reserved for me. So I spend time every day on my mat doing some form of yoga, whether it is I'm primarily focused on breath work, or I'm doing like a little yoga flow, some movement, as well as a bit of meditation. It's so important. And I also feel like if you're not someone who enjoys yoga, it's absolutely possible to create moments of, like, I guess, peace and calm. Even in just being able to be present and notice the little details in your everyday life. Like, for example, really relishing your cup of coffee in the morning. Like taking the time to do nothing but sip on your coffee, smell it, taste it, and really feeling, wow, this is my cup of coffee this morning, and what does it make you feel, right? I feel like that's so important, taking those little details into account, right? Taking a moment just to be fully present, no matter what it is you're doing.
Great.
I think people often see foodies and fitness first as opposites. So how do you merge those worlds in your life?
Oh, absolutely. That's such a good question, because I love health and wellness, but I also absolutely love food. And I think that there's so much behind nourishment as well as like pleasure. I feel like the two can go hand in hand, right? Obviously in moderation. I feel like you have to have movement in order to kind of feel and be really present, to get out of your head sometimes. And food, as a result, is so important to help you, you know, basically feel energy and be able to like fuel you throughout your day. And pleasure is also so important, because food is such a big aspect of who we are, and I absolutely think that there's space for enjoying the food that you actually eat, right? Being mindful as well, like not just about eating whatever comes your way, but really noticing, is this something I really enjoy? Like, you know, and what is it about this particular dish or this kind of food that I'm really enjoying? And everyone's so unique, right? It's also what I love about this aspect of food is that it's about just kind of just determining the kinds of things that you like, right? Kind of, it's a bit of self-discovery as well, because what might work for someone doesn't work for someone else. And yeah, I think I'm very much an embodiment of someone who, you know, loves food and also is very much into health and wellness.
Cool.
Okay.
Cool. I want to know, like, you're always traveling and exploring, and a lot of your content is centered around that. So, what makes you take the pauses that you take in spaces like Drift, or in, you know, carve out those spaces in the city?
Yeah. So places like Drift are so important because you know, I really appreciate spaces that cultivate a sense of like peace and calm through the ambiance, through the service. I feel like that's such a great way to find moments to be with yourself, right? Enjoy a meal by yourself, or just spend time enjoying a particular dish or a cup of coffee like you would at this cafe. It's so important to be able to find these pockets of spaces where you can feel at home, right? And I feel like exploring new places allows me to find many different spots where I'm really comfortable, and this is a space where I can journal, and this is a place where I can just like sit and cry if I want to, like things like that.
I can see the views.
Like I seriously do have a cafe I go to and I cry. Yeah, because like it's like I feel safe in that space.
Good. No, that's
And like nobody will ever recognize me, and I won't run into someone I know. So I'm like, thank God.
I aspire to have a cafe with
Yeah,
my
you can go
Oh
on.
my God, that's amazing, and I'm not telling anyone.
Fair. Protect your peace and
Yeah.
safety. I think those were all the questions I had, but I think something that I wanted to ask you is why food? Why is it the thing you love creating content around? What is it about food that makes your day or makes
Yeah.
what is it that makes it something you love?
Absolutely. That's such a good question. You know, it actually dates back to, I would say, since I was a kid, I love food. I grew up around, my father's Korean, my mother's Taiwanese. And my mom really did a great job of blending the two cultures and different flavors. And she did so many fusion dishes growing up. She would mix like Western with Asian. And I also had the luxury of traveling a lot when I was a kid and trying many different kinds of food. So I think from a very young age, being able to bond over a meal, like family meals, were such a big aspect of who I was. And I think that translated very much into how I also started to connect with people. Growing up, I love being able to share like my meals with my friends, and going into college, being able to cook for my friends, bake for my friends. And I actually in college, I was part of the school television station. I created a show called Foodie McGill, and I actually started doing these food reviews back in the day as a college student. I would go around to different restaurants in Montreal, where I was at the time, and I just review all these restaurants and eat tons of food. So I think when I started creating content in Bombay around the same thing, a bunch of people were like, oh my God, it's Foodie McGill again, look at you, you're doing like the thing that you always loved. And it's just been such a big part of who I am. Food really, I think, is the one thing that unifies so many people. You might not resonate with maybe fashion. Maybe you won't resonate with some, sustainability. Maybe those aren't things that you're interested in. I feel like everyone, no matter who you are, will have an opinion or something to say about like a food that they like, something they enjoy, something that reminds them of a special moment, a special person. So that's also why I think that food is so important to me, because I feel like it's absolutely universal.
I want to